whole idea of hijrah being impossible just because you don't have a degree or you can't get a job in one of the Gulf countries is an absolute myth. It's 2024, my friends, and things have definitely evolved and changed. And I'm about to explain to you how.
أفرأيتم ما تحرثون أأنتم تزرعونه أم نحن الزارعون.
I remember when I was first trying to make hijrah over a decade ago, all I used to hear was how in order to make hijrah, you needed to get a job in one of the Gulf countries, so then you would get a visa and the right to live there. But usually to get that job, which is usually like a teaching job, usually teaching English, you would need a degree. And me, nor my husband had a degree at the time. So as you can imagine, your girl was stressed. Fast forward to the present day now, people still have this mentality. People still think this way. People still think that if they can't get into the Gulf country, they can't make hijrah. Let me say that again. If they can't get into one of the Gulf countries, they can't make hijrah? That couldn't be any more further from the truth. First, we need to go back and check our understanding and check our intentions of why we even want to make hijrah in the first place. Do you want to make hijrah because you want to live in a Muslim country? You want to hear the adhan 5 times a day? You want to raise and nurture your kids in an Islamic environment? You want to live in an environment that makes it easy for you to do your ibadat? You want to live in an environment that allows you to live as a Muslim unapologetically? You want to live in a country that facilitates your Islam and doesn't oppose it? Or do you want to live in a country because you just like the idea of living in the Gulf and the fact that it's a Muslim country is a bonus? You need to check your reasons why you want to make hijrah in the first place. Do you have a deep-rooted desire to make hijrah for the sake of yourself, for the sake of your deen, for the sake of the tarbiyah of your children and the generations that come after you? Or do you just like the idea of the lifestyle of living abroad? Because if you truly want to make hijrah fi sabilillah, because you want to live around in a Muslim country, you want to live around the Muslims, you want it to be easy for you to do your ibadat, you want it to be easy for you to nurture and raise your children in an Islamic environment and all the other things that I mentioned, then you should know that there are so many Muslim countries that you can do that to. You don't have to limit yourself to Dubai, Qatar, Kuwait, Saudi, for example. Allah has given us so many Muslim countries that we can make hijrah to. So why are we limiting ourselves to the Gulf? We can make hijrah to other countries that people would consider low economy or third world countries or whatever you want to call it, and still fulfill all that you want to fulfill as it relates to hijrah. This issue about people thinking that their only way out, meaning out of the West, is if they get a teaching job in one of the Gulf countries because that's the only way they're going to be able to sustain themselves. Let me just tell you, like I said before, it's 2024. Things are evolving, things are changing. And for years, people have been making a means for themselves in a way that's other than just getting a teaching job abroad. The muhajirun are starting businesses. They are getting into real estate. They are getting into agriculture. They are doing so much. And they're not limiting themselves to a mere teaching job abroad. A teaching job that determines whether you can stay in the country or not. During my time living in Egypt, over the years, I'd done so much. Me and my family, we done so much. We did the whole thing of my husband traveling back to the UK to work. That didn't work out for us. I've done science workshops, I've done maths workshops, I've done cooking workshops, I've done calligraphy workshops. These are all things that I've hosted for the expat community. I even started up a business selling Caribbean food because my family, we're Jamaican. We have Jamaican background. So what we did was we established a cooking business in Egypt selling Jamaican food, and it done extremely well. So well to the point that it burnt me out because of the amount of orders and overwhelm that I got. As it relates to the workshops, the maths workshops, the maths workshops, the science workshops, the art workshops, many of the people from the expat community was coming and they was putting their kids in the Marakas. The Islamic centers were mainly focusing on Arabic, Quran, memorizing hadith and stuff like that. But as it relates to the secular studies, it was lacking in that area. So a lot of people still wanted their children to do, some sort of secular studies as well as, the Islamic studies, because as much as the Islamic studies is the most important, they still want their children doing their secular studies. I simply done my research, looked into the community that I was targeting, saw that there was a gap within the community, and I provided a solution for it. Even as it relates to the Jamaican food business that we started up, again, there was loads of people in the community, especially from the UK, from America and Canada and so on, who had been living in Egypt for 10, 20 years and hadn't had Jamaican food for so long. If you know, then you know how Jamaicans get down with our food, okay? And there were people that had been living in Egypt for years and hadn't had that food for so long, and they craved it. And me and my husband, we decided to start up a food business. It was called Mr. and Mrs. Chef. Those who were in Egypt at the time, they should know. And we were selling Jamaican food. I would do the cooking and my husband would do the deliveries, and business was booming. Anyone trying to stabilize their finances so that they can make hijrah, I highly recommend that you include these steps into your hijrah action plan. You want to look into and do your research into the community that you're moving to or that you've joined. Okay, you want to look for the gaps in the market. You want to look at what are the things that people are complaining about, what are the things that people are saying that they need and that they want and that they wish that their community had. What are the things that you see the community is lacking, and figure out how you can solve those problems. Figure out how you can fill those gaps in the community. Once you figured out what those gaps in the market are and how you can solve those problems in the community, how you can provide a solution for the community and make an income off of it, you then have your business plan. Once you have your food money, you then need to look into building passive income. Now, there are different types of passive income. The most common ones are like, affiliate marketing, digital marketing, and so on and so forth. The one that I found to be most effective is real estate. With me being an expat lifestyle coach, one of the main things that I hear all the time is how it's hard for people to make hijrah because they have no way to sustain themselves. So part of what I do is I'm constantly looking for ways to help my clients build streams of income and find ways to finance their hijrah. And I've done many different projects, but my latest project is the Gambia real estate project. Me and my husband have set up this project where we are building a block of apartments, and it allows the aspiring muhajir or muhajira to make an investment into this project by way of buying shares, and they therefore become a shareholder in the company. They receive a percentage of the income that is generated from this real estate business. This project was set up with the aspiring muhajir or muhajira in mind. It is set up so that we can help each other. It is set up so that we can help those who wish to make hijrah but would like to build up multiple streams of income, or just a stream of income, and have a consistent stream of income coming in that can help them sustain their hijrah. So if you're somebody that wants to make hijrah, or who has already made hijrah, and you're looking for ways to sustain it, to build up your finances, then I highly recommend that you invest into the Gambia real estate project. It is an easy investment that you can make into real estate. It's not a project that's going to be around forever, so take advantage of it whilst it is here, whilst it is available. This thing about building up your finances to make hijrah, it requires an action plan, especially if you're building from zero, if you're building from the ground up. But the biggest thing I want you guys to take away from this video is, just because your opportunities to move to a Gulf country are not there, or they don't seem like they are possible, do not limit yourself. The Gulf countries are beautiful countries, and if it is an option for you, I would definitely recommend that you move there. But don't think that that is your only option, and if you can't get there, then hijrah is just out of the window for you, because that's not true. Not being able to move to the Gulf countries is not an excuse for you to stay in Darul Kufr. As always, guys, thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned for more, because more hijrah content is coming, as well as homestead content. Don't forget to like, comment what you'd like to see from this channel, and also subscribe to this channel, and I will see you in the next video. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
أفرأيتم ما تحرثون أأنتم تزرعونه أم نحن الزارعون